Foreigners wash their hands with 2000-degree molten iron. Nothing happened at all. I even want to rub it a few times. So what's going on here? Another foreigner saw the scene. It was incredible. I was just going to give it a shot. Be careful to make the 10,000-year ship. He doesn't do experiments with his own hands. He opted to use models and pig trotters instead. First heat the aluminum water to 1000 degrees. Then glue the pig's trotters to the stick. Then put the pig's trotters in the donkey water. We were surprised to find nothing wrong with the trotters. More than 1,000 donkey waters. It's like 30-degree cold water. Then he soaked a few more times like the uncle. But the end result is the same. The pig's trotters at most died of white leaves. The foreigner changes to the plastic clamp and tries again. Just put your fingertips in and clamp your hands and start a fire again. Frightened foreigners immediately shrank back. Leave. After running water, the flame on the clamp hand is immediately extinguished, as if nothing had happened. So what's going on here? In fact, the uncle's hands were covered with sweat during the experiment. The moment he comes into contact with molten iron, sweat on hands, exposure to molten iron far above its own boiling point. Therefore, steam is formed to block the molten iron in the palm. This phenomenon is known as latent frost effect. Relying on this phenomenon, not only high-temperature experiments can be completed, even liquid nitrogen at temperatures as low as -196 degrees can also achieve the same effect. When liquid nitrogen touches the palm, will boil rapidly and form an insulating layer. Therefore, the palm does not. Frostbitten by the polar temperatures. And when foreigners use props to upgrade aluminum water, the mouth is soaked in water. As for why the fake water caught fire, we don't know. And you know why? Will be 1000. Have you seen the effect of sending out fireworks and igniting at the same time? When night falls, splendid fireworks always give the sky. Empty brings romantic atmosphere, but foreigners have no time to take into account the beautiful pictures. Fireworks in their hands. But I was played with all kinds of tricks. And it's always quite shocking. Will channeling monkey, cotton collides with toy car, ignite lead monkey. The next second, the monkey is like this with a toy car. Forward make out. Superpower makes the toy car soar into the sky. In order to bring more stunning results to everyone, even foreigners ignited 2000 rockets at the same time, against the backdrop of darkness. This effect is even more comparable to film and television blockbusters. And today foreigners have developed a new way to play. I saw him buying a lot of fireworks in the supermarket. Then he started to take apart all the fireworks, and then they boil them dry with duct tape, tied together. Soon such a wonderful product was born. You know, usually we set off fireworks one by one. Foreigners make fireworks like this. It is also very suitable for his temperament. It's almost slow. After waiting, night falls quietly. This is the best time to set off fireworks. The impatient brother will light the fireworks. I saw him turn the trunk vertically towards the sky. Fireworks are released during the process. It is also constantly igniting the surrounding leads, as the flames continue to be distributed. There are also many small firecrackers shooting into the sky. I see a small ditch under the reflection of fireworks, showing a long-lost smile. At this moment, he is enjoying happiness to the fullest. Friends in front of the screen. This is what happens. Does it also bring you a good mood? See you next time. We have always believed that hearing is false and seeing is believing, but sometimes, our eyes will also be confused, like you would believe. The shape of the object reflected in the mirror, is it different from real objects? And painting is an art, but it has attracted the love of many people, and the lifelong dream of many painters, is to make the painting more realistic. But painting is painting after all, can't be very real. But the following great man is different. I saw him first. It is to bring a drawn horse to the table, put a card with black stripes, put it on top of the horse, and then something magical happened. With a move in the card, the horse seemed to be really running. According to the same method, we also made the animal run. This effect is simply too interesting. Realistic effect. Even the kitten next to him is used to taking it for real. Bring the card closer to the bird. It was a stationary bird. Start flapping your wings. I can't believe your eyes. Grandiose striped shapes are paired with black cards. This gives us visual effects like immersive. Originally bland Superman graffiti. With his help, it also flew smoothly through the layers of clouds. It seems that it is about to enter outer space. The existence of black cards makes these, the otherwise dull lines, become more vivid. So do you know what's the reason for this? Screen. Before the video starts, let's play a little game first. Type this word in the comment area and I'll call you Dad. We've seen a lot of hydraulics. Previously, the black box on the plane. Put it under a hydraulic press for testing. I have to. The thing that made the hydraulic press history powerful. That's pretty rare. Place 3 AA batteries under the hydraulic press. As the mixing of the hydraulic press decreases, the battery is directly crushed and exploded. It also generates a large number of compounds. Even the black light with super hardness, quartz. It exploded in front of the hydraulic press in an instant. The residue of the black key splattered all over the screen. In order to meet the needs of the audience and friends. Still going to try it today. 50 nails against the press. I saw that he fell asleep first. 3 bearings give birth to the hydraulic press. Start the hydraulic press and the two form an instant. The bearing disappeared from the screen in an instant. Finally, I took out a nail for testing. The nails are also firmly pressed into the wood. Subsequently, the foreigner took out the nail board that had already been prepared. So the continuous pressurization of the press. At this point we can see, all the nails are slowly pressed into the wood. It can be seen that the positioning process is quite stable. If it's okay, the soldier is also known as all the teeth, the most decompressed in the field of vision. Also we can't see. The strength of the teeth is still so powerful. The little friends in front of the screen, you still secure 130 steel bars to the wooden board. Each one is so sharp. If you drive up, the tire will puncture. Today, the foreigner will take you to reveal the secret. First, find 9 kitchen knives to simply warm up. As the saying goes, no matter how good the tire is, it is also afraid of a kitchen knife. I saw the tire stop steadily on the kitchen knife, so that was the end of the experiment. Just as the tires were about to call it a day and go home, but found a kitchen knife embedded in the tire. Pull out a bed of nails with 200 nails. It's densely packed with nails. Put your foot on the accelerator. I saw the tires walking smoothly on it. And the nails did not cause any damage to the tires. Even if you put the car back, still safe and sound. Reduce the number of nails to 130, and not only that, he's going to heat each one up. See if the tires can withstand the high temperature nails. After heating, the foreigner drove the nail to the top again. In the middle of the bed, the tire caught fire suddenly. The rat car still drove past smoothly. In the process of backsliding, the tire caught fire again. A large number of people are enduring guesses. Tire debris keeps falling. After the tires are removed, foreigner observation nail bed. The top of the nail was found to be full of black matter. Sure enough, impression of high temperature nails. The surface of the tire is covered with studs. But it didn't get blown up. Reduce the number of nails to 11 again. Reheat. Will the tire survive this time? I saw the foreigner drive the car up. Before I could react, the tire was released and discarded. Some of the nails were decompressed and deformed. Especially the police can remove the tires. The foreigner reverses the car. The whole bed of nails is firmly inserted into the tire. Soon the tire went flat. After the foreigners did this. This tire is thorough. Indian guy takes his motorcycle helmet with Chinese motorcycle helmets for comparison. Talk about the quality of our helmets made in China. Far better than them. To make us happy. Wait a minute, he will pull the helmet. Dropped at 1,000 feet. So 305 meters up. See whose helmet is harder and better. This is not the first time this kind of comparative experiment has occurred. Before, foreigners who buy bad information put their helmets. Put it under the tractor for rolling. Soon flashy dyed black helmet. I couldn't bear the huge pressure and it broke. In contrast, low-key luxury made in China. Also lived up to expectations. Successfully took care of the foreigners, not only withstood the crushing. It has not been affected. You see this blue helmet in the footage. It is the secret weapon for foreigners to find face. The black helmet is also made in China. The confident brother also said, even if drones bring their helmets to 3,000 feet, there will be no problem if you leave it behind. Without further ado, the challenge begins. The little brother first wraps his helmet around the rope. Then tie the other end of the rope on the drone hook. This way, you can. After the helmet rises into the sky for a while, the helmet reaches the specified height. The expectant brother presses the hair button. The helmet is in free fall. Then it's smashed to the ground and smashed to pieces. The foam inside is visible to the naked eye. This is not good for the little brother. I didn't expect my helmet to be so resistant to falling. Do what you say and raise the helmet again. This time, I really married the distance to 3,000 feet. After falling again, the helmet is completely scrapped. The little brother pulls it lightly. Rip the helmet apart. The disdainful foreigner thought to himself, made in China won't be any better. In this way, my brother put the helmets imported from China, also up to 3,000 feet. Release the rope when everything is ready. The moment the helmet hits the ground, it bounces off. The little brother hurried to check. Who knew helmets were just some places to travel cracks? This is much better than a self-made helmet. The shy little brother wants there to be a hole in the ground. I would have been in there. And that's the end of the experiment. I believe that all the friends with land at home know it. Every time it's weird season, Xingli will be very conflicted. Get dirty, let's not talk about it. Even the way to change it is very troublesome. If it doesn't save you trouble, you can pump water with a diesel engine or motor. But often it costs diesel or movie costs. And a guy in the UK just built another batch of new. Invented a warm water tailwind. This decoration requires no oil or electricity. Convenient and practical. The overall structure is not complicated. It looks like a big disc. And there are all plastic water pipes wrapped around the periphery. And around the disc. It is a water slurry made of aluminum sheets. It exists to flow through water. Pump device. Apply kinetic energy. When the remaining water flows to the aluminum plate for gravity, the disc will automatically. A spout that rotates at the end of a disc. A certain amount of water will be poured in. Then past the rotating disc. Bowen hose that brings water to the tailhouse. And the boom hose is connected to the iron pipe on the axle. eventually diverting the water to another pond. This method is not easy to save time and effort, and make the best use of water resources. As long as the river keeps flowing, the continuous auction will continue to rotate, so that water is constantly poured into the pipes, ultimately achieve the purpose of water outlet. It's basically an automated device. You can use it to water and irrigate, eat soup out of water. You can even use labor and disaster mitigation. According to the boy, the current is faster when the wind is also the right size. This device can irrigate in one. Friends in front of a 25D screen. You can also simulate. You're all familiar with paper airplanes. Using a piece of white paper after simple folding. You can play all day. And abroad there is an internet celebrity bubble plane. It's based on the shape of the glider. They are in the hands of foreigners. Each was also played a variety of tricks. And in order to bring you better experimental results, I decided to buy 160 with a foam plane. Getting ready for him to go really high altitude gliding. Before the 11th. A few foreigners are considered and throw a giant beef ball down the dam. He thought he would land vertically, actually breathing in the air during the flowering period. Then the little brother specially folded a few paper airplanes, ready to test. In this environment, what is the best position to let the plane out? Only see. A few little brothers folded themselves into a plane at a time, throw it out. The ones that work best are actually memorialists. Don't look at him like a headless fly, flying around. But when you hit the cliff in front of you, go to everyone. Play a few stunts. A sharp turn and a perfect landing. The impatient brother chases Tom. Took it out. Then by guessing. To determine the order of the search. Snuggle up to the challenger. Make the atmosphere a little awkward. His foam plane. It didn't give us a stunning performance. Squeaky fell off after hitting the dam. The second brother, Gone May, called back to the scene by his own brother. This time the foam plane performed perfectly. He is like a white eagle. It's a big circle in the air. Although the ending was very tragic. But we care more about the process. The last challenger learned a practical lesson. Try to get the plane to fly up. The end result is very cold and warm. When we are in the wild and unexpected situations arise, the most indispensable thing around is the fire. If there are no harvesting tools, maybe you want to drill for fire. However, this method is very time-consuming and labor-intensive. The selection of wood is also very strict. Today, I will give it to you. Bring a simple way to live. There is a young man abroad, has a wealth of night survival experience. However, this time there is only water and no flame. He took a piece of paper, and then it folds. This time, bottles filled with water are placed on top of folded paper, and the gap between the two should not be too far. Don't get too close, and then warm up with the sun shining through the water. Integrate a bit of light into a spot of light. At this time, the desired light spot shines on the paper, and all we have to do is maintain this position. Gradually wait. Not long after, white smoke gradually appeared on the folded paper, and then there's a fire on the page. Then the paint on the paper gets bigger and bigger, and then finally, we put the folded paper on top. In the end, it was successfully returned to the original. Some netizens asked when they saw this, if you don't pick up a bottle in the wild by the way, what should I do? Actually, now, even a plastic bag would do the trick. Fill half a plastic bag with glue, and then you clean it into a sharp corner. Prepare sawdust below. Also relies on oxidative irradiation. On wood chips that gather light spots. Finally, blow on a fairy breath. Instantly ignited flame. Friends in front of the screen. Hot water freezes more easily than cold water. I'm sure many of you see this view. Would be incredible. In the far north of our country, water splashing organisms can be achieved by using hot water. In fact, this phenomenon until now, scientists have not come up with a reasonable solution either. In fact, this phenomenon is too much of its own name. Mother rebellion phenomenon. That is, at the same quality, under the same cooling environment, a slightly warmer liquid. It freezes more than cooler liquids. According to past knowledge, liquid wants to freeze. Its own temperature must drop to the freezing point. So hot liquids want to freeze, should take more time, but the phenomenon of maternal rebellion overturns this conclusion. The current mainstream explanation for this phenomenon is hydrogen splashing in water molecules. Because of the lightness in the hot water, stretching distance is longer than in cold water, so when cooling, mood retracts faster in hot water, it freezes faster. Another explanation is that heated water makes it easier to dissolve gases. As it cools down, more bubbles are sucked out as glaciers. The problem that cold water is difficult to freeze, and the temperature difference of the liquid with high temperature is greater. The liquid near the sidewall drops as it cools down. The fluid in the center will be pushed up. This creates a circulation that accelerates cooling. The reason why no accurate explanation was given. Because sometimes, when the conditions for the formation of this phenomenon are met, cold water freezes faster than hot. It's faster, so the conditions for the formation of this phenomenon. There's still a lot of ambiguity. Friends in front of the screen. Do you think under normal circumstances,